Test, 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 test.
Did you roll over my tomatillo?
Maybe.
And my jalapeno.
Hey, we're a team. We're a team.
Apparently you're not team jalapeno.
Hey guys, welcome back to Baby Back Maniac. Today we are going to do a start to finish guide from beginning to end on how to cook tamales, and I have a special guest, my wife, Gladys. Gladys, welcome.
Hello, thank you.
Yeah. So you want to tell them a little bit about how you got into the tamale? She's the tamale expert, y'all.
I love all types of Mexican and Tex-Mex foods. And so I've got a friend that's coming over tomorrow. We've been doing this for about 3 years. This is our 4th time to make tamales, and we make like hundreds of tamales. I asked her 3 years ago, could you teach me how to do this? And she said, sure. So we've been doing it every year since. So today we are going to make 2 different types of tamales. Chicken tamales and brisket tamales.
That's why I made that brisket yesterday, wasn't it?
Exactly why you made that brisket yesterday. This is probably going to be the one that confuses people the most. This is a tomatillo, which is kind of a cousin to the pepper. And what we'll need to do is remove the husks of the tomatillo, and it'll be a little bit sticky underneath there, but after it gets roasted, it won't be sticky anymore.
So is that it? You just pull off the
husk, and we'll rinse it off, and then afterwards we'll cut into it, cut them in half, and just take off this little part where the stem is, and we'll get them onto the grill.
Alright, so our green sauce is ready. We prepped the vegetables, roasted them about 8 to 10 minutes per side, blended them up. You ready to do a taste test?
Absolutely. You want to go first?
No, you ladies first.
Oh, let's go do it at the same time.
I like it when we do it at the same time.
Here we go. Cheers. Oh yeah.
That's so good.
Oh, that is so good.
So we were thinking about using this, which is a great verde sauce from HEB. If you have access to it, you don't want to go to this trouble. You know, this will work. Definitely consider this. But
something about it being fresh ingredients.
Yes.
It needs to be chilled, but I think after it chills, it's gonna be awesome.
And once we got it, we had to blend it up a little extra than we thought we would, but now it's perfect. It's got that perfect amount of heat. It's got the perfect amount of sweetness. The grilling it actually kind of made those flavors blossom.
Oh yeah,
this is great.
I think the garlic, it's not too pungent. And you could put in fresh garlic, but I like it roasted. Yeah,
and secretly our dog is right down here, and he's ready for us to drop him some at any moment, but he's not gonna get any.
Sorry.
All right. Green sauce is done. Now it's on to the next thing. All right, babe, what are we doing?
Okay, so we are going to make our masa for our chicken tamales. And of course, we start out with lard. We're gonna do about half a pound of lard and put it in the KitchenAid. And I think that we learned a few years ago that this is really the key. We get the lard into the KitchenAid, and what Judith will let us know when she comes in here is that you just have to beat it to submission. You get the lard, which kind of comes in a big clump here in the container, and you run it in the KitchenAid until it just turns into kind of a fluffy cloud. Thereafter, we'll add a teaspoon of baking powder and a couple of pounds of fresh masa, and The fresh masa we got from Fiesta. And you can also use masa flour that comes in a bag. We've never done that before because Judith has just always told us that the fresh masa just tastes better, the texture is better, you're not having to rehydrate the flour. So we've got the ability to go to Fiesta to buy fresh masa. We got fresh masa. This is pretty thick. Looks more like a cookie dough consistency right now.
Okay.
And
is that what you're going for?
No.
Okay.
What we are looking for is like a thick cake batter, thin hummus consistency. So in order to do that, we are going to add in some chicken broth. And this chicken broth, I went ahead and put in a bouillon cube just to add that flavor, more thicker chicken flavor, as well as some salt into it.
Makes sense.
So let's go ahead and add just a little bit here. And
so is this one of those things where you, again, you add and then you stir and you add and you stir until you get the texture you're looking for?
Exactly.
Okay, and how is this different from the red sauce? This is really similar, right?
Yeah, so the difference with the red sauce, and then so instead of the chicken broth, we will be adding in the red sauce that we'll be making in a little bit.
I said red sauce, I meant the red masa. The masa we're using for the briskets, we're using red sauce in that instead of the chicken broth, and that's the basic difference. And that turns it into like a nice pink color, right? That's
right, and there's like a pink consistency that once it's cooked, it turns a really pretty orange.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of, tamale connoisseurs will tell you that there is just the perfect orange whenever you cut into
I'm not even a tamale connoisseur, and I really appreciate that. To me, that looks good.
Awesome.
All right, let's get this going.
All right.
All right, guys, we spent the last few minutes just adding chicken broth to try to get this to that texture of a hummus or a thick cake batter. Thick cake batter. We added a little bit of salt along the way just to taste, and that's something you get the hang of over time. And now we're gonna do the ultimate test. What's the ultimate test, baby?
Actually, I just tasted it. We have the flavor going. So our ultimate test is that we'll put a little bit of the batter into a glass of water.
Okay.
If the batter floats, then we know that we've reached the right texture. If we have not, then we'll need to add some more leavening agents to it.
All right.
Here we go. Ready? Ha! We've got floatage.
Yeah, we got floatage.
Okay, so then we'll put this into the refrigerator for about an hour for it to rest, and then we'll be able to wrap.
Woohoo! Judith, this is the firepower we needed. All right, guys, this is Judith. This is our master Jedi tamale maker that taught us everything we know about this stuff.
I just grew up in Mexico. I'm not that talented.
Yeah, the first thing she told me was I was saying maza wrong, or matza, or how do I say it?
You said I don't know.
Mesa?
Mesa at
Masa?
one point, yeah.
So you're supposed to say maza.
Masa.
Masa.
Yes.
All right, so now we're set. Now we can restart the video, and I'll say it correctly. All right, what are we doing, Judith? What are you gonna show us right now?
So right now we're doing the red sauce for the brisket tamales. And so we have some red chiles here soaking in water. Before that, we actually char them on a very hot pan on the stove, and it gives a little bit of a smoky sort of flavor to the sauce.
Okay.
So you need to soak them in water. We actually put a plate on top of them so they actually keep like inside, like soaking inside the water. And you do that because these chiles are dry. And so you need them to kind of like, come alive again a little bit, see? So I just destem them. You just like take the stem out and see, most of the seeds are coming out already because they're attached to the stem. And since they're all full of water, you just turn them on their head and the seeds come out pretty easily. So now I have my chiles seated, and now I'm gonna make the red sauce. So for that, I'm gonna add them to the blender all together, and I'm gonna add some onion and garlic that I roasted in the very hot pan. The reason I'm not adding it raw is because it gives the red sauce another layer of flavor. Like the onion is gonna be a little sweeter, the garlic is less pungent, and that way with the spiciness of the chiles is gonna make for an awesome red sauce.
So normally this would be cooked with your pork, but since we're not doing pork, that was the reason why you wanted to pan fry, right?
Right, normally you add the garlic and the onion to that water so that it flavors the water as well. And then you use that pork broth to make this sauce. But since we're doing it from brisket, so we're doing beef broth instead. And so I have here the measurements already. Gonna add it to my blender.
So that was 3 cups?
This was 3 cups because we're doing a little bit of less than the recipe. I don't know if you're posting the recipe on your website.
Yeah, we'll have that down below in the description box.
All right, so we just adjusted for the size of containers we're using. I'm sorry I did this. I like adding my salt like this. So I'm just doing a little bit of sauce, of salt. And then after blending it and stuff, I'll taste it and see if it needs more. Okay. So now I'm pouring the red sauce on a sieve to catch all the seeds that I missed or bigger pieces of chili that didn't blend. Once I finish straining all these red sauce, then that's when the sauce that we're gonna use for our brisket tamales.
All right, Judith, will you walk us through how to put together these chicken tamales?
Yes, so you have your corn husks here that have been soaked in water previously so they can be pliable. And what we first do is we spread the masa on the corn husk, and you do like a good layer. And don't spread them out all the way to the edges. Maybe leave 3/4 of an inch or 1/2 of an inch on the sides. And so now I'm gonna add a heaping spoonful of the filling, which in this case it's chicken with green sauce that we previously made. And then we're adding some pepper strips. These are hatch chili pepper strips. And we add a little bit of cheese because why not? We like it that way. So now to close it up, you can like pick it up like a book and close it like a book, making sure that the dough is touching each other. Okay, so that way it'll be all wrapped up. And then this flap, you just fold it, and then you fold it in. And that's how you make a tamale. Now you can put it this way. Now this can happen sometimes. If your tamales are not staying in place like this, then what you can do is you can wrap them. So you kind of like, from another corn husk, you kind of like rip a little strip out of it that's big enough, like this one. And then you just wrap it with a little bow, like a present. And you're done.
Perfect.
Of your tamales.
And that'll keep it from coming apart in the steamer.
Yes, that's right.
All right, thanks, Judith.
You're welcome.
All right, so that's how you put together the chicken tamales. We also mixed up the red sauce with our brisket. That kind of works the same way as the chicken. You just use the brisket instead, and of course that red masa. So at this point, it's just turn and burn. We have several people over here helping us. The girls are just knocking it out, making it in batches, running it through the Instapots, and then it's my turn to taste test. All right, babe, do we end up using any of these tamale pots?
We actually didn't end up using any tamale pots because we ended up with 3 different Instant Pots and 1 Ninja Foodi. And because they are so much faster than tamale pots, we went with what we had. So we set up the electric pressure cookers at 25 minutes, high pressure, and then 15 minutes natural release.
So basically 40 minutes total. That's pretty fast.
It's a lot faster than if you were to use a tamale pot. You'd probably be steaming for about 2 hours.
Oh, wow. So that saved a lot of time.
It did.
All right, we'll put links to these in the description box below, and it's almost time to eat.
Yeah.
All right, we're done.
We're done.
We're done.
You guys excited?
Yes.
I am too. Okay, so about how many tamales did we make?
I think 150, is that what Melissa
Yeah,
Good
did
estimate.
count?
So-
Yeah, so this was significantly less in number this year, but the size of each tamale is definitely larger. We tried to make
Okay.
each tamale larger with more stuffing and more masa.
Yes.
So same volume of tamale.
Right.
Right. So just less unwrapping.
Right.
Right.
Makes sense.
More goodness in each bite.
Okay, so about half were brisket and about half were chicken.
Right.
Yes.
Awesome. You guys ready to try this?
Yes.
do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, let's start with the chicken.
Try the chicken first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Packed with flavor.
It's really good.
It's really,
All right.
it's really cheesy as well.
It is. And like
Right,
I can
I think
actually
the
taste the
cheese-
cheese. I think last year I didn't
Yeah.
taste the cheese much.
Well, I think last year we did the Oaxacan cheese. This year we did the Monterey Jack.
Yes.
I think the
Okay.
Monterey Jack has a lot more flavor.
That makes
It does.
sense. That makes sense.
You're right.
That's so good. Okay, now the beef. Now the beef.
It's really good.
All right.
Brisket. I love you.
You don't want the big piece? You want this one?
It doesn't matter. Just
Okay, I'll get this. Oh, see, it right there. Pork part.
I gotta finish chewing.
I can definitely taste the grill,
barbecue.
The smoke.
the smoke on the brisket.
It's definitely meatier
Right.
too. I think it would go really well with a chili con queso.
Yeah, it needs
Yeah.
a sauce. It's a little bit fried for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I was gonna say I didn't know how quite to say it. Like, that was a great tamale to me. Like if you compare it to a lot of the stuff we get at the store, to me that's a good tamale, but it's not as good as the pork ones you guys made last year. But it's still good.
1. Market Street, 1.1 miles away on West Bethany Drive. 2. Allen Associates, 1.3 miles away on South Lawrence Road.
What is Alexa doing?
Baldwin Farm Region, 0.9 miles away on West Bethany.
Alexa, shut up!
That was weird.
What did she think you said?
I'm not sure.
It's a really good tamale compared to like some of the stuff we bought at grocery stores, but it's not the best tamale that you guys have made. I think the chicken was one of my
That was the
favorites,
best.
and I think the brisket was one of my least favorites, which surprises me because I love brisket. I don't know, but you guys have made so many good ones. We're getting picky.
I think the pork tamales are maybe because they're traditional, but they are I don't know, they are less dry maybe.
Well, I
because
think
of the
it's-
way we shred the meat.
I think
or-
it's also the brisket. We didn't pick the best prime brisket
Yeah,
out
that's
there.
true, too. Yeah.
and so I think that makes a difference because I had made some brisket tamales a few months back that were really
They were
good,
great.
but it was a really
Yeah.
amazing cut of meat too.
Okay.
More fat.
So I think that the meat really makes a difference for the inside.
It does. And again,
Okay.
it's not bad. I mean, I thought it was
no,
really
it's
good.
not bad at all.
That
It's
was
really
We're
good,
just
and
spoiled.
actually, right. I actually taste the smokiness, which is not very traditional for a tamale
Yeah.
to taste. Like it tastes like tamale and all the other flavors, but there's no smoke in anything.
Yeah.
Well, if you
And
Judith, if you hang out here long enough, everything tastes like smoke.
I bet.
Now that was good. I also got a lot of masa in mine. Did I say it right? Masa? Makes it
Yes,
masa.
you did it perfectly.
I think I got more masa than beef in mine, so that was also one of the
Oh,
differences.
sorry about
No,
that.
that's all right.
And I
Look at
think
the
there might
end
be
of
the
it.
cheddar cheese in there too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're saying add some cheese like inside the tamale or on top of it?
Just a little queso on top would be good, or we could have
I think
added
cheddar
some
cheese would be
cheddar
good
cheese
with
on the
it.
inside.
Yeah, almost turning into like enchiladas.
That's
But that's not what we
interesting.
made though.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
no.
for our next video.
There we go.
Well, y'all, thank you so much for being in my video. I really appreciate it. Like, this was a fun tradition.
It was fun.
I'm glad we got it on tape.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to next year. We can make an even bigger. No, I'm kidding. Hope you guys enjoy the video. You guys, thanks for watching. Love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Are you ready? Are you nervous?
No, I just need to know what you want me to do.
You look really short.
That's because I am short.
No, I'm not that short.
How can you say that I'm not that short when I am short?
Well, you're shorter than me. Have you always been shorter than me?
Always.